1's history, and SBD Wolf was now in first place by a full minute.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder, and you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating. Smart nutrition apps, inventory trackers, onboarding tools, you name it. And if the only thing stopping me from making the app is the idea, then why not build an app that gives me endless app ideas? So let's make it. Pro tip, I draft the full app spec in ChatGPT, and then I drop the prompt directly into Base 44. It gives me super detailed structure. And here it is. Everything I laid out in detail as it goes. This is pretty awesome, but I want to make it playful. So I'm going to add a swipe left and swipe right interface. The same usability we all know. Now I'm going to add one more feature. So every idea that I favorite will turn into a kickoff prompt to start building the app itself. And that's it. Just come up with your idea, any idea, and Base 44 will do the rest. So go to Base 44 and create apps with your name on it.
Given all the activity, it's easy to forget, but at this point Cuphead wasn't even a year old. And yet, version 1.1 had already seen 27 world records. Hardly a month ever passed without a new record, as runner after runner came along and got good. But now that the sub 30 was achieved, things finally slowed down. Compared to the previous 9 months, the fall of 2018 was a very quiet period for Cuphead speedruns. Through all of September, October, and November, no new world records were set. SBD Wolf's stranglehold on the leaderboard was too strong, and it stayed that way until something big happened in late 2018. To understand the next chapter in Cuphead's history, we have to look at the 7th place runner, a player named Grondius. Careful viewers may have seen his name earlier in this video. Grond got into Cuphead speedruns in the spring of 2018. Just another person who played the game shortly after its release, loved it, and decided to pursue speedrunning it. By that summer, he moved into the top 10. He was a good player, but not really a threat to the world record. But even if his skills weren't there, Grond was a very creative runner, always looking for new ways to go faster. And in November 2018, while stuck inside due to a snowstorm, Grond started messing with a radical new idea. He wanted to throw out the current run and reroute the entire game with a new weapon combination, Lobber and Spread. This was an interesting duo. We already know that Spread does a ton of damage, but with a very short range. Lobber also deals great damage, and was particularly intriguing because of its EX attack, which has an unintended mechanic: double damage Lobber EXs. A Lobber EX normally does 28 damage. However, if it hits the ground, the game accidentally creates splash damage twice. So if a boss is within range, it'll deal 56 damage to the boss. It's also possible to hit a precise spot on some bosses where the Lobber EX explodes and the boss is hit by both double splash damage and direct impact, dealing a total of 3 times normal damage. However, even if you do it correctly, this only works half the time. But this double damage mechanic, combined with Spread, could be extremely powerful. The problem is that in order to purchase Lobber, you need more coins, and that means having to play a run and gun at the start, Forest Follies, which takes an extra 50 seconds. So if Grond could manage to save at least 50 seconds with Lobber, then it would be worth it. Grond got to work. He found that doing Calava swaps with a Lobber EX and Spread up close was a powerful combo. He had to figure out new routes for several fights all on his own, and the more he played, the more he was able to reap benefits from the Lobber. Grond told SBD Wolf what he was doing in November 2018. He was losing 50 seconds at the start of the run, but making up a chunk of that time across the remainder. Not worth it yet, but if he kept looking, he thought he could close the rest of the gap. And he kept finding new stuff. For Becky Glitch, with the old weapon combo, you'd sometimes have to wait 4 or 5 cycles to get the right pattern, but with Lobber and Spread, you could always get the glitch in 3 cycles. He also refined Baroness von Bonbon. This fight features 3 mini-bosses selected out of a pool of 5. There's 60 possible combinations. Grond relearned every option with Lobber and Spread, figuring out the optimal way to play every single scenario. So